Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I am tired, but I'm excited. I just got back from vacation. Today is December 27th and it's late in the day, and I just want to dive in and just kind of see where the numbers were and figure out what can I do in my December budget today to kind of post a video, but also see where my numbers are as I'm getting ready to end the new year. I can't believe 2021 is almost over. Just a few days left. It's just gone. It's December came and it's almost New Year's this Saturday. It's crazy. So today I'm going to pop these budget sheets out, and we're going to take a close look at what the numbers are. I have my beginning balances, what I added, what I took out, and then I'm going to come up with my new ending balance number, which will be my January 1st beginning balances. Same thing with the savings tracker, and then I am going to be so happy to show you my credit card log because I behaved very well in December. I'm super excited about that because November I was kind of all over the map and 2 pages with a credit card log. Whew, that really was not good. So let's go ahead and pop these pages out and I'll zoom you guys in and we'll just get into the numbers. Okay, I am back. So sinking funds. Basically, if you don't know what a sinking fund is, I'm assuming that you do because if you're a regular watcher of my channel, you've seen me go through these before. But if you're new, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. A sinking fund is basically a place where you can use a savings account, you can use a checking account, or you can use cash envelopes to put a little bit of money aside for specific things that happen in your life. If you have small children and you need to put a little bit of money aside every month to build up a fund to buy several sizes of diapers because you have a large family or even a small family, you need to buy diapers, you need to buy formula, you need to buy wipes, you need to buy clothing, anything like that, you can create a sinking fund for it. I particularly prefer to use sinking funds for annual expenses. Once a year pop-ups that I tend to forget, and then I'm scrambling to pull money together to cover the cost because it's an auto draft and I'm like, oh, I forgot all about it. This saves me every single time. So I love sinking funds for a variety of reasons, but there's so many ways you can do it. Now for me, I use a savings account just because not every month do I have a sinking fund, and if I do, it's only 1 or 2 transactions. As you can see this month, 2 transactions. That's it. But I add every month money to each account because I take whatever I know I need in total. Like, for example, Amazon Prime. I put $10 a month away. It is $119 a year, and when it's ready to auto draft every year, I have the $119 from my savings account, and I can make sure it's covered in my checking account. No problem, easy peasy. So I just go ahead and add to it every month, and then when it's time to come out, that's when I mark it here as a subtraction. Now, there are occasions where I have a couple or several, depending on what I'm saving. Sometimes I save sinking funds that don't have a fixed amount all year, like the $119. There are things like cell phone and technology here. I just put $100 a month away and I just let it sit there. And then randomly throughout the year, if somebody needs a new phone, this can be part of paying towards a new phone, things like that. So Christmas, that comes once a year. You know, it comes every year if you're purchasing gifts. And you know how many people and about how much you typically spend, divided by 12, and then put that amount down. For me, I do everything from gifts to experiences to whatever. I only save $600 a year, mainly because my family contributes so much to our family as far as buying Christmas stuff for each other. We have been military. My husband was career Navy for 20 years. And so they're used to just sending a check wherever we happen to be living, and we buy the gifts and then take care of Christmas for the kids. Now, my kids are adults now, but they still live at home and they still do this. And we still kind of live far from people, though I am a lot closer than I was before. So what we're going to do today is just go ahead and do the numbers going across here to see how much we have left over and what we're starting the new year off with. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this part, play some music, and I will be right back.
You had me at a low, 'cause where you go is where I go. I don't need nobody else. I got you, and you got me too.
Okay, I am back. So I have my ending totals here. All the way from Amazon Prime, which is an annual expense like the rest of these, to the dividends that my account gets and accrues for having cash in there. And it's just pennies. It's not very much. I mean, 69 cents. Ooh, I could probably find that outside in the parking lot. So anyways, that is what I have here for my sinking funds. And we're going to total up. I've already got totaled here the beginning amount. And we'll just kind of slide this down here. And then how much I added to the account in total. And then we're going to take what was subtracted, which is this number here, 69.99. Oops, I hit all kinds of buttons. Okay, 69.99 plus the 44.10. And that gives us 114.09. So that's what we're going to write over here. 114.09. Okay, and now we're going to be brave, and I'm going to go 2799.07 plus the $673.20 minus the 114.09. And what should happen, and I hope happens, and I'm actually going to double check my little tracker here on my Excel spreadsheet just to cheat just a little bit. Yeah, that looks right. So this should add up to this number. I just wanted the reassurance of my tracker that does the math for me on my Excel. Whew. Sometimes I just don't like looking at a computer very much, and that's why I do these budget sheets. But sometimes I really like the fact that the math is done in the Excel sheet for me, and I don't have to think about it. But I make mistakes there too, so don't worry. So let's go ahead and total this up, and I'll be right back.
I wanna do what you want to. We can leave and run away someday, someday. I've been saving.
I found a mistake. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the number was off by $15. And I figured out why. I'm like, I have 15 right here. I didn't add 15 plus 15. I only put 15. I needed to put 30. So there we go. Now I can make that total correct. So now that I've added that $15, we're good to go. I can close this out, and these totals total up to the $3,358.18. And looking at my spreadsheet off to the side, which I'm glad I have, so I can find my mistakes a little easier. This now matches. The one number that didn't match was where I wrote 15 instead of 30. So, whew, that was a little scary. So this is now my new January 1st beginning balances. And so if I have anything that needs to come out of sinking funds in January, these are the categories that I know I have set up. And then this is the amount I have available within those categories totaled. And I can use those whenever I need. So that is the sinking funds. The next thing I have is my savings tracker. So a lot happened with my savings tracker, and you're going to see a lot of me squeezing in a lot of numbers. So basically what I've done is I moved this 1,000. Let's see. Let's start from the beginning. So I have 3 to 6 months savings. At the beginning of December, I had $13,125. And then Travel expense savings, I had $640.33. No VA education savings. I started with home improvement at $2,000, and I made changes here. We talked about that before. Dividends was $26.78. I did get $3.19 in dividends added to the checking account, and then my husband had a check. It was a shipping refund check for something he ordered and purchased. So it was $10. I cashed a check. I just put it in the savings because I didn't know where else to put it because he is currently deployed out to sea as a civilian contractor and still not sure when he's coming home. So I'm thinking February sometime is probably when he'll be home, or close to February. So the beginning balance was $15,792.11. That was what my actual total was at the beginning of the month. So what I did do is I transferred $995.15 of this $2,000 because I didn't know how much my painter was going to charge based on what we were asking him to paint, but I had a ballpark, and so that's what I needed to transfer. I put that in my checking account so the check would clear. And then we still had $1,004.50. So I moved it up here to my 3 to 6 month savings fund. This is my emergency fund. So 1,000. I'm going to write really small, so hopefully you guys can see this. $4.50 is going to be added here from this, and then home improvements going to go away. I pop things in and out a lot in my savings tracker, but I don't have to keep them there. All right, so that went in there. And then, let me find my notes here. My husband did have $250 that was coming out of the travel expense that he needed to pay for his meals on the ship. And so $250 came out, but instead of transferring funds physically, I just moved it here, $250. For the as a partial deposit for the emergency fund on what was left over in my checking account after my husband's overtime came in. So this $250 is what I moved from the travel expense to make sure this number was accurate, because we keep about $800 and I replenish it whenever they send us our travel claim money back, and then I'll be replenishing it after the first year, hopefully. We'll see what happens. So anyways, I moved that up there. And then in addition to that, I added $2,340.50. But what was coming out of my checking account was more than that. It was $250 more than that. I just didn't have to physically move it because I hadn't seen the $250 clear the checking account yet, and I knew I was moving money into savings. I didn't want to move money back out of savings. So all I did is what I do with my sinking funds. I reduce what I'm going to move into savings as if I pulled out of savings and left it in my checking account. And then the rest made it balance out, basically. Thankfully, this is one savings account. This is one pot everything goes into. I'm only tracking it like this on paper. My bank has no idea about this, so they don't know what all that money is or what's for, what my intentions are. This tells me my intentions. So I'm just going to kind of put a little note here. I do have sticky notes here. And that total of all those numbers is $1,004 plus $1,004.50 plus $250 plus the $2,340.50, and that gave us a total of $3,595. That is what went into that compartmentalized part of my savings account. So that's the number total after you add all that together. Now, I'm going to add that to this $13,000. So add $13,125. And now my total emergency fund right now is $16,720. If you saw the end of my last video, I talked about how much percentage I have available left to spend. I only need $1,530 to be a fully funded emergency fund. And then I talked to my husband and I've changed it all up again. And it's going to get crazy after the new year. But we'll be talking about that in the first of the year. For right now, we're just going to keep the numbers the way they are. And then on New Year's, after New Year's, when I set up my sinking funds and savings tracker again, I will share with you all the new changes and all the new stuff that I want to do. One of it has to do with this new budget sheet I've created. The one I'm showing you is not the one in my shop, but the eggs are the same. But I came up with this traditional Roth IRA, $6,000. Essentially, the change in the beginning of the year is I'm going to fully fund a Roth IRA with our emergency fund. And then also it broke down for 38 pay periods, a specific number. And I'm going to save up for next year's Roth IRA and then replenish this with overtime. That's the game plan. I'll go in more detail after the first of the year. But right now, we're just going to leave the number where it is. I change my mind in numbers all the time. I see an opportunity, I try to take it, and we're super excited about that. So, all right, I'll move this out of the way. So those are the three things that were put together to make this new total. I did reduce the travel expense, $640.33 minus $250, which is what my husband withdrew, $390.33, and then there were no adding or taking out, so that was $0 here. And then home improvements, obviously everything was taken out, so that's $0 there. And dividends, they were $26.78 plus the $319, and that gives us an extra $29.97 left. I didn't take out the shipping fund check, I just left it in there, so we're just going to count for it. And now we are going to total everything up. So we already know, because we totaled it up here, $3,595 plus $319 plus $10, that gives us $3,608.19 that we added, and we took out $250 plus $995.50 plus $1,450, and so we took out $2,250. There we go. Oops. And then, so I'm going to total going down, and then we're going to total going across, and hopefully my numbers will match. So let's see if I did it right this time. $16,720 plus $390.33 plus $290 or $29.97 and $10. Okay, so here I'm showing $17,150.30. Does my laptop agree with me? Yes, it does. All right, let's see if the numbers going across do the same thing. $15,792.11 plus the $3,608.19 minus the $2,250. And yes, all my numbers match going down and across. It is so satisfying when the math is done right. And you feel so accomplished, I swear. At least I do. Anyway, so that is the savings tracker. That closes out the month of December. And I'm super excited about that. There are changes coming. I'm going to, instead of home improvements, I'll have Roth IRA. I'm going to be making contributions for the Roth IRA going into 2023, saving up all year in 2022. And I'm using the emergency fund to save up, or to just go ahead and drop and put everything into that. And I'm happy to do that. My husband's happy to do that. If we put all $6,000 into the Roth account at the beginning of the year, it accrues more interest or more compounding interest throughout the year if it's all funded at the beginning of the year instead of maxing it to $6,000 by the end of the year. So that's kind of the game plan that we want. We don't foresee that we're going to have a big emergency. We'll still have several $1,000s to work with if we need to. My husband still has 2 or 3 overtime checks coming. So, and he has typically $2,000 or more in overtime each paycheck. And that's just the paychecks that he gets. So that won't be a problem to fill. I mean, 3 overtime checks and he's got that $6,000 put back. And even if we don't reach the $6,000 that we took out right away and we get most of it put back, then we're good with that as well. So I do believe overtime and travel expense, I will fund this back up to $800 next month. So that messed with the numbers a little bit. So we'll see what happens. But I just want to make sure that still has money in there. Credit card log. So easy, simple. As you can see, most of my transactions had to do with either payday or things like, I forgot to mark something here. Do I have my marker? I was really close in one time period that I wasn't sure if I was having money for gas. So I actually used the credit card to do that, but then I immediately, once it cleared, paid for it. But it's, as you can see, everything that here in yellow highlighted means that I didn't mark that. It was a subscription and I was expecting it. Now, we did balance over $256. I had to do with a car seat I purchased for a friend. And then I've gotten cash, and some of that cash has gone into this payments here at the bottom, and I'm down to 0 and I'm good to go. So look how short that is. The only real transaction that had nothing to do with subscriptions is this gas. And normally I have 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 transactions that I do put on there and then pay off as paychecks come in. But I did really good for December, end of the month, and Christmas, and didn't go out shopping again. And I'm closing out the year with my credit card fully paid off. I'm super thrilled. So that is awesome. So I'm going to take these budget sheets, I'm going to pop them back in my planner, and then we'll close out this video. Okay, that is it. That is my sinking funds. That is my savings tracker. That is my credit card log. Look how short it is. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. So excited. Things went very smooth for the month of December, and I am super thrilled. I have some notes over here to myself for going into January, what the bill's coming up, things that have changed, the Roth IRA and stuff. And I'm super excited to have this new budget sheet here that I created for myself. I have one on Etsy. Let me see if I can pull that up really quick. It looks a little bit different. The font is not the same, and I hand wrote these dates, which are paydays for my personal family, on how my husband gets paid and stuff like that. Let's see, Etsy. And then I broke down the nests that I need. Now, typically, I won't know your situation, so it might be better if I come up with a different way. And I have it in one of my top tier, what do they call it? Not favorites. Oh, there's a major glare. Let's see if I can. Oh, there's another glare. I have a lot of lights right here. There we go. We'll just balance it on here somehow. All right. So this is the actual budget sheet. You get $250 each nest. I figured that would be an easy number for you guys to work with. And what I used was this little nest egg, basically, is what you're saving for retirement and stuff like that. So I figured this would be, oops, there we go. It would look pretty easy to work with. And it just says Roth IRA savings tracker, $6,000. Each nest equals $250. So if you can't do $250, but you do half of $250, so $125, you can color half of this, and then you get the next, so you can color multiple times if your contribution to yourself is slower, or if you're making payments and you're breaking it up evenly every time you put it into your Roth IRA, you can color these in increments of $250, or increments of, if you split it in half, $125 every time you put $125 in. So I just thought it was a simple way of doing it. You get all three sizes, so if you use other types of notebooks, you can trim them down to fit in the other notebooks, A5 and Classic Happy Planner. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm excited getting into it and doing a Roth account for the first time in my life at 47. So it'll probably only get 20 years of buildup, but it's better than nothing at all, and just some kind of savings for my future. But I made this for myself. I used a different font. Each nest egg for me personally will be $158, except for the last one will be $154, and that'll round out the $6,000 for me. And these are the actual dates of when my husband gets paid. So that's how that'll work. It's really, really cool. And I'm super excited to get that started. I'll be coloring that all the time. And I have it put in my budget. So when I start my January budget, check that out. You'll see Roth IRA and those increments in there. It's going to be exciting. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel. And for you guys that are on my YouTube, I do carry budget sheets like that, like these, without the decorative headers, in my description box. Go check it out. I'm putting it in all my YouTube channels now, YouTube videos for you to download anytime. It's just basically, I think I have it in Google Drive, and you just download the PDF and you print it out. It's only one size, but you know what? You can scale it down and say print, 80% or print whatever percentage you want, and it should work out just fine if you need it smaller. But yeah, I want people to be into budgeting and taking care of their financial health and financial future. So if you're interested in these at all, I do have the plain ones in the box below. So go check it out. There's a link. If you like the decorative and you don't mind investing a couple of dollars, then go to my Etsy store and pick up some budget sheets there. So I hope you have an amazing and blessed day, amazing and happy new year. I pray that you are safe and that you are healthy, and that the new year coming up is just going to be more health and more abundance for your financial health and financial future. That is my prayer for this year coming up, and I pray many blessings on each and every one of you. Have an amazing day. Bye.
And you say